Let's see some pictures of what's left in the world of the giant trees that were petrified. The official version says that this is the remnant and it's produced by volcanic lava. Only a person who hates reality or hates the truth would actually say that these hexagonal forms are produced by lava. On trees in nature, if you go to a forest now, trees like the ones we know today, so not petrified, they have these hexagonal forms. The world is full of these places. Even if you would like to register everything, you would not be able to. And also there's like a bunch of these places on the bottom of the oceans as well. So you can imagine what type of world we live in, what type of crater, flat crater under a dome this place is. And everything makes sense, and this is only possible in this world if you actually understand that these structures are, and they're hexagonal, so just like the plants that we know made of like wood, like proper wood or carbon based, these are totally petrified. The big majority of them are actually titanic and huge and giant, which means that this world was totally destroyed. That cataclysm that happened, or like that destruction or invasion, many of these like remnants of what were the trees, they're like in diagonal, or they're like as if like a force or like a brute wind or something came and bent everything. And it's everywhere. If you start looking for these things, I've actually made some videos in the past and I actually have my archives. I have to retake that again because everything that has to do with the giant petrified trees is impressive. And if we had giant petrified trees, we also had giants as humans, so giant humanoids or titans. And again, people who actually accept that volcanic lava can do these shapes, I don't know what to think about them. I just don't know. I mean, I was indoctrinated as well when I was younger and stuff. But once I started reading and researching, and I've seen other people doing it, and I've seen the pictures for myself, it's just self-explanatory. I know. I guess it's the fear of actually acknowledging that we're just a bunch of reset slaves kept in the darkness. I think that's the whole point. I'm sorry for the quality of the pictures. I do have better pictures, but I just want to make a quick video just to show you, that it is possible. If you really want to research, you have all of this. And many of these places actually nobody has like a proper archive. Like, we have so many scientists in the world and stuff, and nobody does this. Why? Because you will lose your job at university if you actually say that these places are petrified giant trees. If you go against the norm, then you always lose your job. Check this out. Like, according to official science, they say lava solidifies while dropping to the ground, right? It seems like the law, but it's not even the law, because gravity is not a law, it's just an invention. Like, the effect of gravity doesn't have any effect on the dripping lava, going down. It's just impressive. Or like when it goes like upwards and stuff. I don't even know why people don't understand. And of course, there's places like houses or buildings or like places where people live, and they actually built their homes on top of what's left of these ancient trees. If you can imagine. My question is, what happened in this world? So because some of these places are like so flat as if like they were cut. So imagine, if they were cut, then somebody had the technology to cut them. So that's somebody who they are. I mean, those gods, as we call them, they probably have the technology to wipe out a full crater like this, to actually just come in and do whatever the heck they want. Like one of these, like we see in the movies, a gigantic invasion force, like aliens, we would call them, who they only care about the resources and taking everything that they need away, and then they move on to the next crater. So, if they're the gods, again, they can do whatever they want. These like spheres as well, especially the ones from Costa Rica, are the most famous, but they're not the only ones. The world is full of these spheres. They can actually be the fallen fruits, petrified as well, of the ancient trees. And they're everywhere. It's just freaking amazing. All the mountains, if they're not the corpses of human titans, they're just giant trees. And that's why you see wasteland in those places, because if they actually cut them and they exploited them with machines, they just left waste and desert. And once they did everything they wanted to. Check this out, like the way they're bent and stuff, and people actually accept that this is like volcanic lava and stuff. It's just freaks me out. Columns, it's full of columns, and this is the thing I want to show you. So a normal common tree, exactly the same, identical to these columns. Of course, some of these columns are not. You can actually see the difference when the columns are from a plant, like a proper tree, which was a living being, and where they're just structures that were cut with machines, with gigantic machines, by the way. And of course, lots of this information is in Russian. I have to respect the Russian language and the Russian researchers. They have a lot of information about these topics and other related topics, even more so than in English. So lots of respect for the Russian people. I do respect all those who offer this type of information. And you just like you look at this and it's just amazing. Imagine how many places like these. This is Gibraltar, so Gibraltar as well is like what's left of a gigantic tree. Impressive. Imagine how many of these places are actually on the ground, underneath the ocean, so on the bottom of the ocean. China, the Shilin Stone Forest. These there's two possibilities with this in China. Either they were like natural, or they were structures artificially built and then petrified or destroyed. Both of them are viable. And then it's I'm gonna finish here. So look at this. This is only possible if this was actually a living creature, like being, like a plant. Now I don't know if the DNA structure was based on a different material or not. Look at the leaves. Check out these leaves. Of course, if you had like a gigantic tree that was cut, these leaves were in the normal size. So imagine the insects that were in these trees and the birds and stuff. So that's why this place would be impossible for our humanity to live in, because we would be destroyed. Maybe the reason why they actually came, they destroyed the crater with everything inside, and then they said, let's create our own humanity to serve us. And once they destroyed everything, they just created a small humanity and small everything, and that's it. But yeah, this is extraordinarily impressive. It's freaking amazing the way that it's you're speechless. And the first time, it's not as shocking as before as the first time, but the very first time I actually saw this, I was mind blown. I was mind blasted. That was the last picture. So it's up to you what you want to believe. I'm not doing this to try to convince anyone. It's just, I'm amazed at how some people can see these pictures and they just continue their lives as if, science is telling the truth. Science doesn't care about you. Science only cares about profit and money and having their important titles at university for the purpose of being something important and stuff. If science would really care about this, all the universities in the world and all the researchers and stuff would actually say finally, for once and for all, hey, we were in the dark until now, let's just give the truth out there, and that's it, and end of the story. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just you need to want it to happen. But the United Nations, I guess they don't want it to happen. So I will see you guys in the next video.